Hello guys, good evening all of you. Ronak is already here. Good to see you, Ronak here. Can you just let me know before we start that I'm live there and you can see me properly? Hello guys. Yes, Ronak is already there and I can see the other guys are also there. So guys, today we are going to learn some of the interesting things about chess and I'll be showing you small things. Obviously, it will be helpful for you if you are a beginner or even intermediate player also if you are, then definitely it will help you to play in a much more better way in your game. Okay, so if you are new here, I would like to tell you that don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel, okay, because it will help us to grow more and more people will join us and it will be more fun. Okay, yes, Ronak. So what is our topic of discussion today? Well, the stream name suggests that puzzled over chess, try these moves is there, and definitely we are going to look at some of the things like different patterns. Means everything in chess is actually interlinked with each other. Means there are tactical patterns are there. Sometimes we need to combinations we need to produce on the board. Sometimes we need to play very precisely. Openings are also very important. We need to play precisely in the opening because opening traps are always there, guys. When you start playing chess, you always feel like, okay, this opening is there and what should I play in this opening, I don't really know, right? So the opening traps and everything, you are always fearful about those things. So guys, one thing is there, always look out for the tactics in the opening phase. That is very important, and always try to follow the opening principles. So today I'll be showing you some of the few short games, and through those short games I will try to explain you these things like what you should be doing in your game, so you can try it out in your games also. Okay, so should we start? I hope we can start it here. I hope we can start it here and let's continue. So here, the first things first, what we are going to see. Well, the first thing is like on the chessboard, center is very important. The player who has a lot of control over the center, definitely he has more control in game, okay, on the game. So we'll be looking at one game such that white will try to get the control over the center as quickly as possible, and then we will continue. So here white starts playing with e4 move. Okay, so black plays e5, then d4, and after d4 he captures e into d4. White also captures queen into d4, and you can say white has established a little bit more control over the center, but it's okay because it is also said that you should not bring your queen early in the game. Okay, because why it is very important, like you should not bring your queen early in the game because your opponent will get a chance to attack on your queen, isn't it? Because now the queen is on d4, black can surely play knight c6 and you have to move your queen. So that's why it is ideally said that you should not bring your queen early in the game, especially towards the center of the, because your opponent's pieces will attack on him, and while attacking on your queen, at that time your opponent will develop his pieces quickly. Okay, and that's what we don't want in the position. So after queen captures d4, knight c6, here in this position queen needs to move. So queen a4 is one of the moves. Okay, queen a4 is one of the move. Maybe you can play queen e3 also, or queen d1 also, we can move back. So queen a4, let's try to play. Why is he playing this move? I want to tell you the theme of this game is pinning. Okay, so there will be a pin if black plays the pawn on d7, anywhere d6 or d7, because this queen will be here, and we know this thing that if the king is there in front of king, diagonally or horizontally or vertically, anywhere, if any of the piece is there, like in this same line or the diagonal, you can say the knight is there and your queen is there on the same diagonal, it means that the knight on c6 will be pinned. Okay, so here after queen to a4, black played knight f6, developing a piece. Very simple idea. White also developed his piece, knight c6, because he wants to support the pawn on e4, because black was actually attacking the pawn. Now in this position, he thought like, okay, I need to open up my position a little bit more because the bishop on c8 is not yet developed. The queen also needs to be developed. So he thought like, I will play d5 move. But to be honest, I will tell you the objectively in this position, what black should have played is like he should have played his bishop somewhere. Maybe bishop b4 is also a good idea, because once you play this move, okay, once you play this move, it means that you are pinning your opponent's knight. As I said, like this is about the pinning, then you should pin your opponent's piece over here. And once you pin this thing, okay, once you pin this knight, the possibility of bishop capturing on c3 is very high. And not here, means not queen will not capture definitely, because knight is supporting the bishop, guys. This bishop will capture the knight over here at some point. And there is also one thing is that after developing the bishop, you can simply castle in this position and your king will be much more safer. That is also something which you should know, that in the opening phase you should obviously control the center, you should develop your pieces as quickly as possible. And the third thing is that you should safeguard your king by castling on any of the side. Maybe you can castle on the queen side, maybe you can castle on the king side, it doesn't matter. Okay, the thing is that your opponent should not be able to attack on your king, especially in the opening phase, because you are also not yet developed, you are not also ready to take on the attack. Okay, so that's why the king should be in safe place, so that you can carry out your process, the developing the pieces and maneuvering and everything smoothly. Okay. Oh, Priyanshu is here. Hello, good to see you here. Good to see you, guys. If you are new here, don't forget to like the stream. Okay. Okay, Raunak Deep, repeat please, before 20. Before 20 means what? I did not understand. What do you mean to say? Can you write it down, Raunak? What do you mean by before 20? Okay, fine. So here I was talking about is like we need to develop our pieces. King safety is very important. And once the king is safe, then you can carry out your activities like maneuvering and everything more smoothly. Okay, but he played d5. Okay, that is also okay. But after d5, what happens is like this queen will be pinning the knight on this diagonal, so the knight cannot really move because the king is there. That is what we call it the absolute pin. Okay, this is the absolute pin on the board, and he cannot really go around here anywhere. So now what to do here in this case? You need to understand that this pin is going to cost him a little bit, but you will be able to take advantage of the pin only when you have pieces around him. So we need to develop our pieces. Never forget about this thing. So develop your piece. So we played bishop g5, ate another pin on the board. Now this bishop is pinning this knight. Why this is a pin? Here the king is also not there. But as they say, the king or the queen, these are the major pieces on the board. Especially the pin is concerned, means pin is always related to the major pieces and the minor pieces. Here the queen on d8 is the major piece, the knight on f6 is the minor piece, plus the knight on bishop on g5 is the minor piece. So if this minor piece moves anywhere, let's suppose you capture knight into e4, then this bishop will capture the major piece, that is the queen on d8. So it is also not a good idea, right? So we should pay attention to these small things while playing the game of chess, that we cannot really allow this kind of tactics happening on the board. It means like, चलो देखो अपना, मैं हमेशा ये पैसों के मामले में I tell them in the terms of money because it's more easy. मेजर पीस मतलब क्या है? क्वीन, किंग वगैरह. किंग और क्वीन को मैं देता हूँ कि 2000 के रुपए की नोट है वो बोर्ड के ऊपर, 2000 रुपए है आपके पास, और रुक्स जो रहते हो 500 रुपए की नोट है समझो, और जो बिशप और नाइट जो रहते हैं, यू कैन से दैट देयर आर 100 रुपीज नोट, and the pawns, all the pawns are like just 50 rupees note or maybe 10 rupees note. So it's very important whatever you are exchanging. Exchange मतलब क्या, आप कुछ दोगे और opponent से कुछ लोगे, तो same value का कुछ लेन देन कर रहे हो तो that is okay. Like if you are giving 50 rupees to your opponent, if you are getting something back of value of 50 rupees, that is okay. But if you are giving in this position, as I said, like 2000 रुपए रहते हैं queen की value, if you consider in terms of money, then here black will be losing 2000 rupees, and what white is giving in return, white is giving worth rupees, just as I said, like bishop might be just worth rupees 100 rupees. So 100 rupees कहाँ और 2000 rupees कहाँ, कोई तालमेल नहीं है, right? So that is what we should try to do on the board, that whenever we are exchanging the pieces, we should make sure that we are exchanging equal or we should be in profit. मतलब 100 रुपए दे के 2000 रुपए मिल रहे हैं तो मतलब 2000 रुपए का कुछ प्रॉफिट हो रहा है आपको, तो कभी भी अच्छा ही है आपके लिए. सो सेम वे व्हाइट विल बी इन प्रॉफिट, नॉट द ब्लैक. सो व्हेनेवर यू आर एक्सचेंजिंग, you should think in that terms, whether I will be in profit or whether I will be in loss. Okay, it's very very important. Are you getting this thing, guys? If you are getting this, tell me very frankly yes or no in the chat. Okay, just tell me very frankly yes or no in the chat, and then I will continue. So here black take d into e5. Okay, then white captures knight into e4, or the d into e4, knight into e4, because the knight on f6 is pinned. So black thought okay, अभी मेरे दोनों knights पिन है, क्यों ना मैं white का knight पिन करूँ इस पोजीशन में. So he played queen to e7, but by playing queen e7, okay, yes, okay, Priyanshu is understanding, good to know that thing. Priyanshu is understanding, good to know. So here in this position black has pinned the knight on e4, and white was very stubborn. Okay, white was very stubborn. He understood that he is more developed in this position, and he has this knight on e4 also at a very nice position, so he should take advantage of this thing. Okay, so here to take advantage of this thing, he said like, okay, the knight is pinned, this knight is also pinned. If he captures here, then I will be in trouble, so I have to do something very quickly. So he decided to long castle here in this. This is the best move in the position. Why this is the best move, I will tell you now. Here, if knight captures on e4, obviously he is going to lose the queen. That is not a good idea. And if black captures queen into e4, because of the pin, you will be winning the game. See, now if you capture queen into queen, the knight will just capture, and किसको फायदा होगा? देखो अभी यहाँ पे 1 2, यहाँ पे रुक d8 चेक दिया तो नाइट से मार सकता है. ठीक है, नाइट कैन कैप्चर इट हियर, and if you capture then 1 2 3 4 5 pieces are there from the black side. White will be having only 3, so rook d8 is not a possibility. So even if you don't play rook d8, if you play rook e1, which is the best move in the position, then also I will support my knight. Okay, then maybe f3 will be played, and I can just go around with bishop e7, or I can just attack here. Maybe, yeah, I will attack. Bishop needs to move back, and then on the next move I'm going to capture. So even if this capture is done, okay, even if this capture is done, maybe I'll capture here, rook will capture here, the king will also move around here somewhere. Maybe I'll just castle over here. Still 1 2 3 4 5 pieces are there from the black side. White will be having 1 2 3 4 5 pieces, but here the position is almost equal. You are not getting anything in this position which is, you can say, the profitable. So rook e1, you are not getting anything, right? But in this position you have a chance. You have a chance to win the queen on e4 free of cost. Can you find it out, guys? Can you find out how will you get the queen on e4 free of cost? Because it's all about check, all about pins in this game. So you need to understand the value of the pin. What happens when the pin is there? Before some time the knight was pinned, but now this knight is still pinned because we have queen e4, but our queen is being attacked. This bishop is already having some indirect attack till here. So what to do? And this queen is being supported by the knight on f6. So there is some connection is there. This rook, this bishop, this queen, there is some connection is there, and you need to find it out. What is the connection? What can you do in this position? How can you take advantage of this thing? You need to understand that if the knight on f6 is pinned, then the queen on e4 will be hanging. So how will you pin the knight on f6? If you think like this, you need to be a little bit imaginative while playing the game of chess. Okay, rook to e1. No, Priyanshu, if you play rook e1, then he will just capture your rook, because the rook on e1 is not having any support here. You need to understand that if the knight on f6 is pinned, then you can win the queen on e4. So for that reason you need to play your rook, but we will play our rook to d8 square, and once the rook will come on the d8 square, here king must capture because the knight cannot really capture it. Okay, if the king captures here, now this bishop is actually pinning the knight on the f6 square. And now what will you play? Absolutely right. What will you play? We will just capture the queen on e4, because the knight cannot capture the queen because there is a pin on this diagonal. So guys, I hope that you learned something good from this thing, that the pin is a very important thing on the chessboard, and you can take advantage of opponent's mistake because of the pin. So the main thing happened here is like development advantage from the white side. He was completely developed in this position, then only these things happened. Look at black's pieces, they are like just being the spectators. These knights, everything is just like the spectator on the board. They are not actually involved in the game. So we need to bring our pieces as quickly as possible in the game. We need to develop our pieces. Then if you have open lines for your pieces, the bishop should have open diagonals, rook should have open files, the queen is there, then miracles will definitely happen. The Samriddhi is also there. She is also saying yes sir. Yes, definitely. Guys, don't forget to like the stream if you are new here. Okay, never forget about that thing. Because more you like, more people will join us and it will be more fun. Okay, so let's go to the next one now. Let's go to the next one. I hope you will try this spin thing in your game. Okay. Hi Mantrala. This is not actually my channel. I teach on Unacademy. So this is Unacademy's Creative Corner channel. I teach chess on Unacademy also now. Means I used to teach in different category, but now I teach in Creative Corner, that is for the CBSE students. So they have created this channel, and now I am having some chess sessions on this channel. Obviously on the platform also we have plenty of courses and plenty of sessions are there. Anybody who wants to enroll for the course on Unacademy which I am teaching, they can use my coupon code, that is Atul YouTube 10. That is the coupon code is there, and you can get the 10% discount also. Okay. But it's always good to see you Mantrala here. Good to see you. I'll be doing sessions, means live streams on my channel also, but nowadays I'm a little bit busy doing all the streams and classes and everything. But I hope we will meet once again. So if you want to be there with me, because I'm going to show you one more game, and in that intermediate moves I'm going to show. It will be another interesting game, so you can be there with me. Okay, chalo then. Next game for us is also starts with e4, e5. Okay, d4, then e captures d4, then queen captures d4. This is a very short game I'm going to show you. Knight c3, the queen attack. In the previous game we looked at queen a4 was looked at. We will see queen e3 this time, and after queen to e3, black played g6. That is also fine because he wants to develop the bishop maybe somewhere here, and then knight will be here and the castling might be done. Maybe I'm saying that might happen. So white played knight c3, developing a piece in this position. Okay, Mantrala, even if you are leaving, don't forget to like the stream before you leave, because every like is like the appreciation. Okay. So knight c3, developing a piece. Bishop came to g7 square. Now it is attacking the knight on c3. Then knight d5, centralizing the knight. Black played knight e7, and now white played knight e2 because he wants to develop the pieces. And if you capture here, then it will not be that cool, because after this capture, this knight must go to e7 square, and it's a little bit cramped position for black, I'll say. But okay, it was also possible to play like this. And now he played d6. He doesn't want to get the pawn on d5 because knight will be very cramped on e7 and so on. But okay, white played bishop to d2. Sure, thank you very much, Mantrala. So here bishop d2 was played, and black got a little bit greedy, you can say. Black should have just castle in this position. That is the best way to play, because once your king is safe, then obviously you are much more safer in the position. Okay, and white will definitely castle in this position, and both the sides will be completely developed. But as they say that you should not be greedy, and once you get greedy, the game might turn around. And black got greedy and he captured the pawn on b2, and now it is going to cost him a lot, because after bishop d2, the thing is that if this bishop is not there, okay, then black's king side will be very weak, because he has already created some holes around the king, right? So it's not that much cool for him to play around here. Another thing is that once the bishop b2 is there, we need to take advantage of this thing if this bishop is not there. So he plays bishop c3. Now the best way for black is to just capture bishop into c3 and not be too much greedy, because the greediness, if you are there, then if you capture bishop into a1, then the game will be over very soon. The game will be over, and back actually in the game he played bishop into a1, and the game was over with knight f6 check, king here, and queen h6 check and mate, because the king is not having any squares. So this is the very small game I wanted to show, like 11 moves game only. But the main thing is here. Yeah, Aryan is also here. Good to see you, Aryan. But the main thing over here, what I want to tell you is, like, in chess you should try to play according to the opening principles. If you don't follow the opening principles, if you just leave your development, and if you just try to grab the material one after another, then you might just end in the way black got checkmated here very soon, just 11 moves. So God will always miss, you will always get some chances, like you will get queen into c3, and maybe you can castle over here, he can give the check and king can come here, and if this check is given, then f6 is a possibility, or knight e5 is there. Yeah, a private lesson kind of a thing. But this is also a bad position for black, I will say, because he is not having a bishop over here. So guys, don't go for the stupid pawns in the corner of the board. It is not a good idea. Okay, you should not go for those such kind of pawns. So here the best way for black was to just castle, just play it safe, keep your bishop there, try to play f5 after some time, then maybe you can capture the knight on d5 and the game will be okay and normal. Okay, so this is what I will say about this game. Now we will go to the next one. Next game is also interesting, as they say that the queen should not be brought in the game early, but sometimes what happens, I'll be showing you one more game. E4, E5, then D4, ED4, Queen D4. This is the center game, you can say, but means center counter is there from the black side. But when white plays E4, E5, D4, ED4, Queen D4, this is if you play knight f3, then it is the Scotch game. But if you capture queen into D4, it is the center game. Okay, then here after queen into D4, if knight c6 is played, we already saw that queen e3 is one of the best moves. White will definitely play queen e3. Now bishop b4 check, then c3, bishop a5. Okay, here you can play knight c3, but if you play knight c3, the knight will be pinned, and black will be developing a piece with the tempo, like bishop b4 will be played with the tempo, because the check is there, and if you play knight c3, his tempo will be successful. So we don't want to do that. We want to always create some threats, guys. This is also very important, that whenever it is possible for you, try to create threats on the board. How to create the threats is by constantly attacking on your opponent, constantly giving him some kind of a headache, you can say, like, okay, I'm going to do this, okay, I'm going to do that. It will happen only when you have an idea in the position. If you don't have any ideas, okay, then obviously you cannot really do anything. So I always tell my students this thing, that whenever you play your move, you should have some kind of planning, some kind of a thought behind the move. You should not just play the move on general principles. Okay, I feel like this, I should develop a piece, so I should just play the piece. No, you should pay attention to which piece should be developed first, which piece should not be developed first. And in this position, my opponent has played this move. Let's, for example, this move, like bishop b4 is played in this position. So what I should do, you should ask yourself. You obviously have 2-3 options. We can play bishop d2, knight d2, knight c3, and c3. So the most beneficial option for you is to play c3. Okay, AS Game Fluent is here. Hello, good to see you. Good evening. Yeah, c6 will also stop the knight's jump. That is also very true, Mantrala. So that's what we need to find out. So the bishop is attacked. Bishop needs to go behind. Bishop a5 he went, but after bishop a5, white just developed another piece, bishop c4. So bishop b4 definitely was not the best move in the position. What he should have done is, like, he should have played d6, knight f6 and bishop e7, or even the previous way we looked at the g6 bishop g7 was also a good idea. But playing bishop b4 is like giving your opponent more chances. Okay, so bishop c4 was played. Black played knight g7, because playing knight f6 is like inviting your opponent to play e5 move, and I feel like that is not exactly the good way. But okay, in this position you cannot directly go for e5, but I'm saying, like, why to give your opponent chances, right? So knight e7 is also one of the moves. Here white played queen g3, attacking the pawn on g7, plus the pawn on f7 is also being attacked with the bishop. So you should not lose this thing. So black played castles. He thought, like, okay, what will happen even if the pin is there? But once the pin is there, obviously if you play bishop h6 in this case, then knight will just jump to g6 square and the bishop needs to move. But white anticipated what his opponent wants to play. He understood that this knight wants to come to g6 square. So to get more control in this position, he played the next move, that is h4. He's anticipating that his opponent will play knight g6. Okay, and after knight g6, here he had already thought like I'm going to play h5 in this position so that the knight will not be there. Once the knight is not there, win the rook exchange now. Well, Mantrala, where can you win the exchange? I don't see that exchange is there. You cannot win the exchange. The thing is that you should see this thing, that how many pieces are there from the black side to defend the position. Here in this position, there are not that many defenders from the black side. You can say that only the knight is the defender, and if the knight is not there, then this bishop is there, this queen is there, and now with the h4 h5 move, he has brought the rook also in the game. Plus one more thing is that bishop on c1 is actually in the game, and this bishop on a5 is little bit oddly placed on that side of the board. Bishop on c8 is not in the game, the rook on a8 is not in the game, the knight on c6 is also not in the game. Game means what? The main position is happening, the game is happening on the king side, right? Yeah, the main game is happening on the king side, and there only black's pieces are not there. So it's very important to have more number of attackers in the game, and we should always try to reduce opponent's defenders. Okay, so here he played knight g e5 because the knight was being attacked. Here, okay, we have bishop h6 move, which Mantrala is suggesting here. Obviously we can play that move, but black will defend the pawn on g7 with the next move queen f6. Now if you capture here, obviously I'll just capture, you will not get anything because queen f6 के बाद सब कुछ defend हो रहा है. Okay, bishop g5 is one of the moves, and then I need to play queen d6, and I think black is some kind of safe in this position. Plus the knight on e5 is attacking the bishop on c4. Okay, it is also attacking here, so we cannot really go for that thing. So what to do from the white side? We need to see that queen on d8 is actually very oddly placed here. Okay, and we need to figure out a way to take advantage of the queen on d8. So that's why white in this case played bishop g5. Now after bishop g5, what is happening? The pawn on f7 cannot come forward because there is a pin, right? And queen, maybe it can go to e8 square, or the knight can come here, but if you play knight to e7 square, then the knight on e5 will be hanging, so that is also not possible because black will just lose the piece. So here queen e8 is almost forced. So after queen e8, the queen is no longer coming in the game. The pawn on g7 can be attacked now, and now it's time for us to attack the pawn on g7 with the move bishop f6. Now after bishop f6, there is a checkmate with queen into g7. Now how will you save the mate? Can you tell me how will you save the mate from black side? From black side, what will you play? Come on guys, if you are there, Mantrala, if you are there, what will you play from black side? g6 is one of the moves, right? g6 is one of the moves in this position, and if you play g6, okay, if you play g6 in this case, then after that white has a miraculous move in this position. Can you find out that miraculous move? If you can find out that move, then I will be very, very happy. Let's see whether you can get it. g6, yeah, g6. But now white has a beautiful move, guys. Mantrala and Ace Game Fluid, you need to find out this move from white side. Amazing move. White to play and win now. There are some things which you need to see. The bishop is controlling this diagonal. This bishop is controlling this diagonal. This rook is also there on this file. So all we need to do is like open up the H file and the game will be over. H6 is suggested by Ace Game Fluent. Okay, H into G6 is one of the best moves. I agree. But but okay, we can play that move. I agree. Like, and if knight into G6 is played, then what to do? Obviously pawn into capture, then rook h8 is the check and mate. Okay, pawn into capture, then it's a check and mate. And okay, this position is already winning for black. I don't have any options by which you can defend the position. I agree, because this check is also there, and if knight into G6, then queen into G6 is there, because the pawn on F7 cannot move in this position. And if H into G6, then rook will come to H8 square, and it's a mate because of the two bishops which are there in this position and the rook is there. So but in the game, I'll just tell you, white was very artistic, you can say. He finished off the game in a brilliant style by playing something which is interesting, by playing some, okay, the game was like, okay, h into g6, knight into g6 and queen into g6 was only played. Okay, I was thinking something else, but I was just thinking like if queen g6 works, but it is not working because of one small error, that queen e4 check is coming. If the check was not there, then g into h7 would have been good. Queen sacrifice, yes, the queen sacrifice was there. H g6 rook h8 is there, and if h g6 knight g6 is there, then queen captures g6, h g6, and then again rook h8 is a check and mate. So another beautiful game, I'll say. This is the way we need to play in our games, guys. Like when we are playing, we should play with our pieces. If we have our pieces to play around in the game, then many things will happen. The tactics will flow, and the tactics will flow only when we have pieces on the board. Look at black's pieces. Black's pieces were completely out of the game. They did not participate in the game. If the pieces were there in the game, then black would have defended the position much more better. But as the pieces were not participating, white won the game in a beautiful style, right? So I hope that you liked this game. I hope you liked this game. Did you get it? Yeah. Amazing game, right? I like this game. I like the way white played with his pieces, and it did not give any chance to black's pieces. So we'll go to the next game now. Should we go to the next game? Let's go to the next one. We'll look at some other opening now. Let me know if you liked it. Oh, very nice. Okay, fine. So now we will look at one more interesting game. Just give me a second. Just finding out the game. Okay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, okay, as I mentioned earlier, that if e4, e5 is played, if d4 is played, then ed4 ke baad queen into d4, if you capture, then it is center game, right? Means reverse of center, what do you call center counter, reverse of center counter. But if you want to play the Scotch opening, then first we can play knight f3, knight c6, and now you play d4. This is the Scotch opening, which is more balanced, I will say, because white is developing a piece first and then he is going for the center breakthrough with d4. And I personally like this opening from the white side, and because of some reasons, because you get your pieces more quickly in the game. That is one thing, that you get the center control also very quickly, and you sacrifice one pawn in the center of the board. So while capturing the pawn, black needs to waste one move, and in that meantime you can develop a piece with bishop c4. Okay, you can develop a piece with bishop c4, and after bishop c4 black plays bishop c5, and then you can just simply castle. By giving up a pawn, you will get to play your pieces more quickly. You will castle, and black needs to take care of the pawn on d4. Usually black player gives up the pawn. That is a different story. Sir, I want to learn Danish. Well, as Game Fluent, in our one of the previous streams, I talked about the Danish Gambit on this channel. So you can maybe check it out. Okay, maybe you can check it out. Okay, fine. So let's move forward in this Scotch game. Should I go forward? I think I should go forward with this thing. So here, after castling, black decided to play knight g7. Okay. Oh, it's called as max slang attack. Oh, really? I don't know. I just know that it is a Scotch opening. I know this name. Is for this opening, I call it Scotch opening. Okay. Dekhte. So here, knight f6 is one of the best moves, and if you go for e5, then the main theory is play d5, then capture, then rook g8. And okay, there is a lot of theories there, and we'll not get into it. But black played knight g7, which is also understandable. But white thought like after knight g7 there is something missing in this position, and he thought like, okay, I have castled, my bishop is also there on this diagonal, and my king is safe, so why not take advantage of the activity of the pieces? And that's why white decided to play, okay, white decided to play knight g5 in this position. After knight g5, the knight is attacking on f7, plus bishop is also attacking. So here black obviously can go for castling, but if he goes for the castling, then we have a good move, that is queen h5. And after queen h5, the pawn on h7 is attacked, the pawn on f7 is also attacked, and black will lose at least one pawn. If we play h6, then obviously we have knight into f7. If rook into f7, then queen into f7 is there. Or we can play first bishop into f7, king moves anywhere, then we'll capture the bishop on c5. Or we can play bishop into h6, g into h6, and queen into h6 is a check and mate. So black will be demolished just in some moves if he castles in this position. Okay, so sometimes castling is a good idea and sometimes it is not a good idea. So this example shows us this same thing. But okay, black did not castle. Black understood that he needs to block this bishop's diagonal, then only he will get some chances in the position, and that's why he played d5, which is the best move in the position. Okay, so after d5, he captures ed5, and okay, the knight is being attacked, so knight needs to be played on e5 square. He plays knight e5. Now the bishop is being attacked, bishop goes back to b3 square, and black plays h6, attacking the pawn, knight on here. So knight goes to the center square, knight e4. Now the bishop on c5 is being attacked, so bishop goes behind, and now the threat of bishop g4 is there, because we cannot play f3 because this pawn will come to d3 square. So white plays a simple move h3, stopping all the threats with bishop g4 and everything. Okay, so now after this, black thought like, okay, I can capture the pawn on d5, and that was the mistake. What he should have done is like, maybe in this position, yeah, similar line comes there, but the thing is that in Mantrala, the thing is that in Ivan's gambit, usually the pawn is on c3 and bishop on a5. It took a little bit time for black, means black is having bishop on b6 more quickly here rather than in that game. I'll say in that game the bishop is usually on a5, not on b6, and when the bishop is on b6, we cannot play f4, this kind of move, because d3 check is coming. So similar is there, but the placement of the black piece is a little bit different, because in that game we play c3 and opponent captures here, and then we castle and everything. So this diagonal is opened in that game, but here is a little bit different. Okay, I hope it is you are understanding this thing. Here black has some options, like he can play bishop f5 and develop a piece. Okay, means I will play bishop f5 so that my king will be much more safer whenever I am going to castle, because still if he castle, it is a possibility, but this bishop into h6 possibility is there, and anybody can get scared of this possibility. But okay, nothing will happen because these knights are coming in the game quite quickly. This check, then king will come here, or even h8, and if you attack here, it will not help you. Okay, so because the knight is coming in the game very quickly, so bishop, so casting was done, but he played knight d5. Black got a little bit greedy and he played knight into d5. So after knight into d5, the game turned around very quickly in just one move. So can you find out that move? I'll wait for your answer. Can you find out that move, that white turned around everything? Knight d5 shouldn't have been played. Castling or bishop f5 should have been played by black. But as they say that if you neglect your king, then you might be doomed. So find out the move here. I hope you will get the move, because there are some weaknesses in black's camp. The king is in the center, plus two knights are there. Queen h5, excellent, excellent. Yes, game friend, you are like absolutely right. Queen will come on h5. Now the queen is attacking the knight on e5, plus this pin is there. So the black doesn't have chance to play his knight here, because if he plays the knight, then queen f7 is no, sorry, queen e5 is there. The knight will be lost just like that, and what is there? He cannot do anything. Okay, what if he plays the knight somewhere? If he moves the knight, then the queen will capture this. I will say queen into d5, and white is piece up. Yeah, excellent, Mantrala, you are also right. Or we can even capture bishop into d5. White will be piece up in both the cases. So knight on e5 cannot move, the knight on d5 cannot move, and we can no longer give the support to the knight on e5. If you play queen e7, this looks one of the ideas, but bishop will capture here, and you don't have queen d6 because the knight is controlling this square. So suddenly in just one move you can say that black is just losing a piece and he just lost the game. He cannot do anything about saving the piece here, and black just lost the game. So the point of showing you this game was like, we need to be very consistent in our attack, and we need to like always give threats to our opponent, and your opponent might get into one of the threats because you are much more developed. So development is very important. Black fell for this trap, because not exactly a trap, but this small tactic, just because he was not concerned about his king. So we need to pay attention to the king. It's very important. So if you are playing from the white side, you can definitely try this opening, the Scotch you can say, and it will give you lots of chances to play with your pieces. Because if you can see, even after the castle also, okay, even if he plays this castling move here in this position, then also very nice. I never knew these lines in Scotch. Yeah, these lines are there. So yeah, even after this bishop h6 is not working, but this bishop is on the open diagonal. This knight is also very well placed. The pawn is there. This pawn is blocking this bishop. So I think it is a very interesting position to play from white side, because you have more chances to play around with your pieces. Okay, so maybe you can try it out in your game. The Scotch is there. Previously I even talked about e4, e5 and d4. It is more open. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We'll go to the straight to the killing you can say. And okay, I'm going to show you one game in which I just talked about before some time, Mantrala, that if you play pawn f3 or f4, the d3 check was coming, right? Did you remember? Do you remember this thing? I was talking about this thing. The bishop is there on this diagonal and d3 will come. That possibility is there. And if you allow that thing from the white side, then you might be in danger. So the next game which I'm going to show you is related to that. That's why I explained about this, means that's why I mentioned about it in the previous comment. I hope you remember, you were paying attention to that time. So do you want to see that thing also? I'll be showing the game from the black side now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So let's look at the thing from the black side for a while, because if white gives the chance, if white is little bit careless, and if he plays f4 move and the possibility of d3 check is there on the board, then what happens? Okay. This f4 should not be played. That is the fact, but sometimes you play out of your inertia. So here let's look at the game. e4, e5, okay, knight f3, knight c6, d4, e captures d4, bishop plays c4, black plays bishop c5. Very normal, very standard. White castles in this position, and as I mentioned earlier, d6 is much more preferable. Not knight f6, knight g7, but d6 is much more preferable, because bishop's diagonal will be opened up. Okay, so knight g5 again, definitely white can think about this move, because he's attacking the pawn on f7, but here it is not that much useful. And this is knight e5 move will be there, attacking the bishop on c4. Bishop needs to move to this square. Now he attacks the pawn with this, but now here it is a little bit different position. Okay, here queen h5 if you play, then it will not be cool because of queen f6 move supporting everything. Another try was also there to play g6, but instead of g6 I will say that queen f6 is also interesting here. And now in this position, if you play f4 thinking that this knight will be moving and then I will play e5 and so on, if you dream about this thing, then you will end up in a very bad position. So I will give you a little bit time here and think about the position. What will you play from black side to get advantage of this f4 move? f4 is a mistake in this case, and you should not allow this move. So let's see whether you can get it. Let's see whether you can get it. Obviously the one move which comes to the mind is d3. Okay, Mantrala is saying something like, while I play with black against e4, I am always worry about the sack on c6 or h6. I try always to play Caro-Kann to avoid these lines. Well, Mantrala, I will tell like unnecessarily in the opening phase you should not play h6 move. Okay, because if you are always afraid of bishop g5, this kind of moves, you will play h6 move. and it's not a good thing, because the thing is that when you play h6, then only the possibilities of bishop into h6 are there on the board, and mostly the bishop into h6 sacrifice will work only when your opponent pieces are there around your king. So even if you are going to play h6, make sure that you have some pieces around your king. That is very important. Otherwise, even if you play bishop g5, just understand this thing, that bishop g5 will work very well if opponent gets the knight to d5 square to attack your knight on f6. If you have your bishop on e7, then you don't need to worry about knight d5, or we can just play c6 or bishop e6 to control the d5 square. In that case, everything will be fine. Okay, bishop g4 is suggested here by Ameya, but bishop g4, if you play directly, then I might can I play something like e5. If I capture, then he is going to capture here. Bishop into f7 is there. Yeah, bishop into f7, the knight into f7 is also there. Or I can simply play queen h4. This queen is being attacked, I'll just move my queen. And now what to do? If you play your knight, anywhere, then the bishop is hanging. If you play d3 check, I have this move, and again the knight is being attacked. So if you play anywhere, the queen will just capture your bishop. So bishop g4 will not actually work, I think. Another idea is there that h into g5 if you play, then I will capture your rook on h8, and still I will prefer this position playing from the white side. d3 is not a checkmate. d3 is not a check and mate. So here the first move is to play d3 check. Okay, this is the best move. And after king h1, here the best move is to play g6, attacking the queen, because queen is a very annoying piece in this position. We need to get rid of the queen, because we have already opened up this bishop's diagonal, and the threat is obviously to play h into g5 on the next move. If the queen is not there on this on this file, if the queen moves away, then rook will just be opened up after at g5. So the queen is being attacked, so he goes for the next move, that is queen d1. Okay, with the pawn win the pawn. No pawn will, first of all we should get rid of the queen from this diagonal. That is very important. So queen moves back, and now h into g5. Black means white just captures here, and now the thing is that white cannot really capture on e5. This is the drawback of this queen moving back. So can you find out the checkmate here? I hope you will get it. I hope you will get it. Chalo, batao. I'll give you some time to think about it. This e5 cannot be captured. This is the main problem. There is a tactic on the board. The tactic is there, black to play and destroy white's king. It is completely, but we need to calculate. Otherwise queen h8 is not exactly a mate mantra. You need to look at the position a little bit more closer, because rook into h2 is brilliant sacrifice, I agree. But after king into h2, then queen h8 check, then king will come to g3 square, and then we need to give this check, because queen h8 is not, king g3 is there, and now we need to find out the checkmate here in this position. So let's see whether we can find out. We'll be solving puzzles in the end. Okay, we'll be solving puzzles in the end, but just check it out whether you can get it, the checkmate from black side. It's not that difficult now. There is a checkmate in just two moves checkmate. Queen h4, king f3, complete a variation, not just one move, complete variation. Queen h4, king f3, and after that what will you play? Queen h4, I agree with this move. King will come to f3 square, and now the last one move, check and mate. Very easy, not at all difficult, very easy. One move checkmate here in this quest. Yeah, bishop g4 is a checkmate, or queen g4 is also a checkmate. Bishop can give this check and it's a mate, or we can even play queen g4, it's also a mate. So this was one of the drawbacks which I wanted to mention about the f4 move. I hope you got this from this game. These games are very crazy, and each and every move counts, guys. That's why I showed you from the both sides, ideas from white side and ideas from black side also I showed you. And I hope that it will be helpful for you in your game, and you can try it out these openings in your game, like e4 e5 d4 directly, or e4 e5 knight f3 knight 6 and d4. Okay, it will open up the game, and it will be more fighting game, and that's why I showed you this thing. I hope you will definitely try it out. Okay, so let's solve some puzzles before I take your leave. Okay, let's solve some puzzles. I'll be giving you puzzles. Let's solve easy ones, mating puzzles. Okay, I'll be giving you mate in one first, and then we will solve mate in two. First, mate in one puzzles. Let's see whether you can get it. Let me give the puzzles to you. Okay, this is mating one puzzle. Okay, this one is mating one. The more you tell me, more it will be more fun. Okay, so let me know. White to play and mate in black's king. We'll solve mate in one first, and then we'll go to the mate in two also. So let me know the answer. Here it is very easy, right? The king is there, very much stuck. The rook is there on this rank, so the bishop cannot really move around, so we can give a check in such a way that the king will not have any squares, and it will be a check and mate. Guys, come on, if you are there, please let me know what will you play. Knight f5, very good. Knight f5 is a check and mate. The king cannot go. Next puzzle, next one for you. This is again the same. Knight f5 is there, but knight f5 is not working out in this position. We need to play in a different way. We need to play in a different way. Find out. Come on, tell me. Knight f5 is not working, so what we should, because if you play knight f5 in this position, then he will have knight f7. Exactly, we should play knight f7 in this case, because we need to control the g5 square. Cool. Next one now. This one again, one move mate. Okay, this one is very easy. After this, so we'll be solving mate in 2 also, but I want to solve at least 5 puzzles with mate in 1, so try to be a little bit quick. Okay, try to be a little bit quick. White to play and mate in just one move here. This is the third puzzle. 2 more puzzles, and then I'll show you something. c5 is one check which you want to give him in this case, but c5 is actually not a checkmate guess. Here the rook will just capture on e2 if you give c5 check. If you give c5 check, then the rook will just capture over here on e2. Rook can capture, knight can capture, bishop can come to d3 square. It is not a check and mate. We need to find out a better way. Come on. Queen c6, exactly. Queen c6 is the best queen in this position. I hope Mantra also got this thing. Queen c6 is a check, because the bishop cannot move, because the rook on a1 is actually pinning the bishop on a5, and this bishop is not allowed. The queen is there, and it is just game over. Very good, very good. Next, last two puzzles. Come on, tell me. This time also white to play is there, and this again the same thing, but a little bit different. Now it is different. Very good, Mantrala. Now here your idea will work out, which you were talking about. Here your idea will work out. Here queen c6 is not a good idea because bishop is coming back to b6 square, but the idea which you talked about earlier is going to work out here. Yes, c5 is the best move in this position, because once you play c5, this time the rook is not attacking here on e2, and the king cannot go there because queen is controlling, c5 pawn is controlling the b6, and there is no one who can block the check. That's why it's a mate. Okay, the last puzzle, let's see whether you can get this one. White to play and checkmate in one. Queen c6, and no, queen c6 was not working. Mantrala, queen c6 is not working because bishop b6 was coming. Bishop b6 was coming. That's why it was not working. Only c5 was working in the previous position. Let's see whether you can get this one. This one is very easy. Yes, exactly. Knight d7 is the check and mate. Knight d7 is the check and mate. Very good. So guys, whoever there here with me until now, I want to show you something, because you should also know what is creative corner. So just allow me to give you a brief introduction about creative corner, and then we will be coming back to this thing. So creative corner is Unacademy's new thing which is related to the CBSC. Okay, so if you go to Unacademy, just you just need to type Unacademy here, and if you go to Unacademy, then click on start learning. I hope you can see me properly. Yeah, you can see me. And in that CBSC pattern, if you go in CBSC, we know that 10th 11th and everything is there, but apart from the studies, Unacademy has started with the creative corner, and they have 51 courses. Among that, I have already 4 courses are there live right now, and there are different educators are there who teach many interesting things. As you know that Suhani Shah is there, who is a magician. She teaches there. Then public speaking, Shraban is there. I'll just show you. Mathematics teacher Suresh Agarwal is there. Then Himanshu Arora is there, and I am also there, who teaches chess over here. We have just started with the chess, but other categories were already there. So I hope that you will come there and you will enjoy more. So there are different courses which I already launched. The attack on the queen side, attack on king side, and beyond the school syllabus is there. And build up your chess foundation 103 is going on right now in this month. Next month we are going to have a little bit intermediate courses also. This first courses were for the beginners, you can say, who just started playing chess and who wants to. Now the revision is going on, all these things. And how to subscribe to the channel. Yeah, how to subscribe is there. I'll just show you. Is here, get subscription. Okay, on Unacademy, means this creative corner, there are classes for Indian history, then finance, then orators corner means debating, public speaking, the magic, guitar. Book lovers will definitely get to know about how to do the storytelling thing. Then origami is there, doodling is there, Photoshop is there, mobile app development, coding is there. So, and animation is also there, and apart from this thing, chess is also there. So this is the whole package. If you go for the creative corner subscription, it is for the kids specially, and the 1 month subscription is 3,000. But if you go for more number of months, then it will be much more cheaper. And the thing is that you can use my code, that is Atul YT10, means Atul YouTube 10, Atul YT10. If you use, then you will get 10% discount. And if you go for 12 months, it is just 1,001 to 5 for per month. So that is very affordable, because you can learn many more things. You can learn about singing, and then guitar, then coding, then magic, and you can develop your applications. Many things are there, and chess is also there. So if you go for more number of months, then it will be much more cheaper for you. So guys, I'll just tell you that this is something which is very good about the Unacademy, that all the things are being provided at a very affordable cost, because every day there is a class. In month of February, I'll be teaching every single day on platform, every day from Monday to Sunday, you can say. I'll be there teaching you chess on Unacademy's platform. Okay. Yeah, sure, Mantrala, you can do definitely do that thing. And guys, with this note, I will take your leave. We will be meeting back, and just to let you know, on the YouTube channel of Creative Corner, I always come. We have at least 10 sessions on Creative Corner's YouTube channel also. So if you want to try it out, you can always come to this YouTube channel, and you can enjoy with me the games of chess and all the strategies which we just looked at. So before you go, like, leave the stream, don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to the channel, because we'll be meeting very soon. Okay, there are some special classes are also there which are free for everyone. So Mantrala, you can check it out uh, about my free classes. I'll be posting on my social media. Okay, see you then. Thank you very much for being there. See you once again next time.